Hey there, how's it going? This has been one of those weeks for sure. I had a death in the family, not someone I'm super close with anymore, but it's still sad. I came down with a bit of a cold, and I still have the 16th looming over my head as an ever-present stressor. It all kinda just welled up, and I broke a little. I basically kinda gave up and just spent a few days finishing my first playthrough of Dark Souls 3 to reset. I know, it's a nice calm game to keep from stressing out, right? I'm usually the kind of person that works well under pressure, but I think this time I piled a bit too much on my plate. If you aren't aware, game dev is a hobby of mine, it's not an actual job. So, I still have all of my other real-life stuff to take care of, as well as my game dev deadlines to deal with. My wife is awesome and ended up using my own words against me. I usually give the advice that if you're stressing, the quality of your work will go down and you will just need to spend more time fixing it later. So it's better to just take a break and get back to it when your mind is in a better space. And I have to admit, that's really what I needed. After taking those few days, I felt mostly better, and I got back to the grind. I decided I just needed to get the menu elements in, because I've been avoiding it, and they really are the most crucial part of getting the beta ready to post. I started with building out a new loader that will display my logo and the logo of RareDigs, who made the music that is currently in the game. This was easy enough. This layout loads 3 arrays the game relies on while showing the logos and then sends the player to the control selection screen, which I talked about a couple episodes back. The control select screen is working, and now the players have the option of choosing which hardware they would like to use to play. They can have all players using controllers, which is my recommended way to play, but not always possible for everybody. Or one player can use the keyboard while the rest have controllers. Or if you have a keyboard with a number pad, 2 players can use the same keyboard while the other 2 use controllers. I know this still leaves out those players that have a keyboard with no number pad and no controllers, but it's the best solution I have at the moment. The thing is, each player needs 7 keys or buttons to play. There are 4 directional buttons, up, down, left, and right, 1 button to jump, 1 to shoot, and a final button for back or cancel. I really just couldn't find a great way to have 2 players use 14 keys on the keyboard comfortably without using the number pad. And by comfortably, I mean not having your hands on top of each other while trying to hit multiple keys. If this is a problem for you, let me know. I don't think I'll be able to make any changes before the beta is released, but for the future, I want to make sure that the game is as accessible as possible in terms of the hardware needed. Alright, back to what I got done. After the control type is selected, we are brought to the title screen, which I have completely redone again. Before I was using images for the options, and it was not very practical. To save myself the organization nightmare I could see coming with all the different images of text, I built out 2 sprite fonts. One in white with a black stroke for the current selection, and a black version with a white stroke for the rest. Currently, selecting play works and takes you to the player select screen as normal. Selecting option now brings in the, well, options that are available. You can move through them using up and down and change them using right and left. Currently, they don't do much other than change some variables that aren't actually hooked up to anything, but I promise they will be. I have the mockups designed for the how to play section. The overview is written. I'm sure I'll rewrite it at some point, but it's there. And I did the layout for displaying controls. This page will change depending on the controls you selected at the beginning. If everyone is using a controller, it will show only the controller controls. I did have to split the jump, shoot, and back buttons by platform because of course no button layouts are ever the same. I went with the most common 2, which are Xbox and PlayStation, and I hope if you have another type of controller, you can use that as a reference for what is what. The button positions don't change from controller to controller with this game, just the labels on the buttons. And of course this page will also show the keyboard controls for 1 and 2 players if that's what was selected. So I still need to get that implemented as well as design out the credits page. But that one shouldn't be too rough, because currently the credits are just myself, RareDigs for the music, and Ansimuz. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. But he is a fantastic pixel artist that created the backgrounds I'm using. He's not actually part of the project, just an awesome artist that has made his work available for others to use on itch. I'm not great at creating backgrounds, and I need a lot more practice to make my own for this game. So I may change them in the future, I'm not sure, but for now I'm grateful Ansimuz's work is an option. I will leave links to both RareDigs and Ansimuz in the description. Check them out and give them some love, they do good work. That's the update on the work that's been done this week. Luckily, I have Monday off from my job and I will hopefully have everything in and running. The goal then will be to do some small updates to the sound effects before the 16th. These won't be final sound effects by any stretch of the imagination, but I would like to put in something better than what I currently have. And I guess this is the final Monday devlog before all of these deadlines are due. Next Saturday, I will be demoing the hopefully working beta at IndieSpeak. I will have the beta up on my itch page for anyone that would like to download and try it out. And on top of that, I have to have a 45-minute talk written and ready to give at IndieSpeak as well. My wife and I sat down to get an outline figured out, but that's about all I have. So while finishing the game, I still need to get that fleshed out as well. Are you stressed yet? 'Cause I am. But I'm pretty sure I can pull it all off. I just have to stay focused. Then I might take a bit of a break from major updates for a bit. I have had to forcefully not enter game jams for the past few months, and I feel a bit antsy about it. I love game jams, and I miss the fun of making something new. I know this is the Monkeys with Guns devlog, and so far I've been able to put out one every Monday for the past 9 weeks. I would like to make devlogs of my game jam projects as well, but I don't know if I can do 2 devlogs in 1 week. So here's my question for you. Are you interested in seeing devlogs on projects other than Monkeys with Guns? My thought would be that on Mondays, I put out a devlog of some kind. Most weeks will be Monkeys with Guns related, but every few weeks I may do a game jam or something. These videos are a lot of fun to make, but they are pretty time consuming. Basically, they take my whole Sunday to write, record, and edit. And as I've demonstrated, I'm really good at biting off more than I can chew. So I need to keep this in check somewhat. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Nothing will change right away. I'm just trying to plan for the future. Next Monday will be a recap of Indie Speak and my takeaways, basically a post-mortem on everything. If you are or will be in the Orange County area on November 16th, Indie Speak is at the Santa Ana Esports Arena. Come by and say hi. The link is in the description. If you can't, please wish me luck, and don't forget that you can download the beta the same day at vimlark.itch.io. If you have any questions or want to get in touch with me, you can leave a comment below or message me on Twitter. If you've enjoyed this, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button, and I will talk to you next time. Later. Yeah, look, it looks like we love each other.
We love each other, butthead.